Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's webinar with Foundation and Payroll for Construction. Today, we are going to cover the one-stop shop for construction office solutions, and that is job cost accounting and payroll services. My name is Garrett Fuller, and I am joined today with Mr. James Walsh III, and he is with our payroll service, Payroll for Construction. And there we are. We're going to be taking you through some things today. First off, a couple quick points. We do encourage questions. Please, anybody who has any items to ask in the panel of GoToWebinar, you're able to ask questions. We'll do our absolute best to answer those throughout today. And also after, right, so we'll spend a minute at the end to cover any outstanding questions. We do send out a link to the recorded webinar shortly after it wraps up, which should be a total about 20-25 minutes, so pretty brief. We're just going to cover very high level to give everybody an idea of what we offer with Foundation software and our payroll service, Payroll for Construction. So that being said, we're gonna dive right in. I'm going to jump into the main menu of Foundation, and we're going to talk about a few high-level things. So on the main menu, you're going to see a lot of options, many modules. The very top, that is our classic job cost accounting, and just making sure everybody can hear us okay, of course. If anybody has any problems with audio, let me know. Jim, you hearing everything okay on your side here?
Yep, I'm good.
All right, so sounds good. So if anybody doesn't have audio happening, double check your mic speakers. You might want to dial in maybe audio options, try another option for you. It looks like I think we're good. So if we continue on, the top section here, that's our classic construction accounting modules, construction payroll, committed cost management, AIA billings, job cost reporting. We offer a number of additional options with equipment management, inventory tracking. Some of our clients have dispatch for a service division. Of course, project management, RFIs, submittals, things of that nature. And at the very bottom of the screen, we're going to hop into our dashboard, and we're going to start there taking a look at some of our job cost reporting. That's, of course, one of the main areas of focus for people using a construction accounting software is the output, right? Getting the data back out of the software. So on this screen, I'm just going to show some samples of what you can get back out of Foundation. A lot of our clients have different types of construction, whether it's general contractors or specialty contractors, but at the end of the day, they're definitely looking at similar needs for job costing. So on the surface here, we're seeing what we build compared to what our contract is, estimated and actual cost. Again, just a big picture view of what's happening with our jobs. And we can easily drill down, click into a job, or just click into a general area here to start that process where now I'm looking at my active projects, their estimated profit, their actual profit, percent complete. Anywhere that you see blue as my job numbers are, those are drill downs. So on that screen here, and it looks like the audio is figured out, which I'm glad. It sounds like everybody's hearing us okay now. So yeah, for these job numbers, they're alphanumeric, totally up to you as far as what those are structured like, but I'll go ahead and click into one. Maybe you're looking at this, whether you're an operations person, office person, PM, and you just want to dive in and see what's happening with a certain project. Now, as I do this, as we look at the snapshot screen of this job, please keep in mind there's many, many job report options in our system. There's probably close to 40 existing job cost reports to use. We have a report writer that's very easy to use. It's drop and drag. So these are just some samples to give people an idea of what we have to offer. But saying that, yeah, for this project, here's our profit on the job. Here's our contract summary. Change orders are split out separate. We do a great job of managing committed costs, which of course are your purchase orders and or subcontracts that are out there issued for the job, what's remaining on those. So here's our actual cost. This job's about $200,000. Now, where we start to see some detail, in this case, if I click that job cost detail button, we're going to jump down another level to list of cost codes, right? So these are activity codes. Some people call them phases. And a lot of our clients maybe don't need this level of detail, right? I'd say probably half do, half don't, where some people use CSI codes. This example is more of like a civil contractor, but same concepts where these are the tasks for the job. So we can see those estimated in actual cost, estimated in actual hours, quantities. If I click on any of these tasks, I clicked into this cost code called subsurface investigation, whatever that is. And now I'm seeing that labor cost broken out and the material cost broken out, the subcontracts, the equipment, the burden from payroll. So that total cost of $19,000 roughly, now we can see that broken down by these various categories, the hours, estimated and actual. And you can always keep going into that detail beneath it, right? Labor, material, equipment costs. So as I need to see more, you simply just click or dive into that level of detail. So as I clicked onto the AP, there's my material cost. I can see the invoices that back up that material expense that maybe we entered in AP, possibly routed through our approval process in the software as well, where we can route invoices to, say, project managers for approval. So again, some people just use the basics, the labor, material, subs, etc. Some do cost codes like this or phase codes. No right or wrong answer, whatever seems to be the best. For that estimate detail, that can be imported to a job record in Foundation from Excel, from any estimating system in our market, or people can just manually code those in on jobs. But saying that, yeah, plenty of opportunities to see that job cost data broken out in different ways. Now, if I click into change orders, and again, just big picture view of some of these things, if I click into that same project, just a quick note that, of course, change order management simple within the system. I can see here I have a few approved change orders, which is making that revised contract total. That's including any of the approved changes. Making note here, though, that I do have some pending, a rejected change order. But that way we can see where the job started, what's going on with change orders, how profitable they are, and then, again, the grand total of things. At our heart, we're still doing accounting extremely well. We get a lot of references from CPAs and CPA firms. We do a great job of core accounting with audit trails, financial, statements, profit and loss, income statements, balance sheets, WIP reporting, another classic standard report that a lot of contractors need and will utilize in our software. Some people call it WIP, bonding reports or different names for that. But again, just another sample of a percent complete report. Again, customizable if you needed to make any type of changes to some reports within the system through our report writer. Cash flow management, open payables and receivables, even tracking retainage, right, on open payables, receivables is very simple to do and works extremely well. Now, I'm bouncing through those screens fairly quick, and just to try to give you kind of a flavor of what we push out. Now, Jim's going to talk in detail about our payroll service, which you could run payroll in-house with the software, but quite many companies do outsource it and just find the benefit of not paying their taxes and managing their W-2s and quarterly returns, and we can take all that on as well. Saying that, we do have certified payroll reporting available, which he'll get into more, committed cost management, purchase orders, subcontracts, so I can see those commitments for projects, what's outstanding, how much have I paid a vendor or a sub, what did they bill me? So just managing those committed costs in itself is extremely helpful in the system. Getting alerts for any expired, workers' comp or insurance certificates. Another key feature with billings, we do really any construction-specific billing options. T&M, markups, cost-plus billings. Unit price for contractors that do any type of quantity-driven billings. But I'm going to head into a real quick sample with an AIA or a progress billing, which is another key area for a lot of companies, or at least a typical construction billing format. So we're going to go ahead and pull up a sample job. Now it's showing here, it's a small sample for the schedule of values, which is fine. It could be 100 rows or more. But what I'm doing is just simply putting in a percent complete for these line items. And we can look at reports and see what that percent complete by cost code or line item is. I have 10% held on retainage in this job, which I can release retainage at any time, partial, final at the end of the project. Well, we just filled some of the percentages in, and now we can, of course, produce the actual AIA form. Now, there's other options for the display or output of that billing. For just standard contract invoices, some T&M billings, you have a form designer. We do preload various templates, but this is more of the standard AIA type format. Our G702, our G703, our schedule. There's those percentages. Now, you could send this out and wait for any potential revisions, but we'll go ahead and say we think it's good. We're going to post it, which is updating our AR history, breaking out that retainage properly. General ledger's updated, of course, because everything's integrated. The revenue's over at the job record at this point. But for example, if we did have a revision, we can easily pull it back up. We can, now we're on app 2, right? Which is great. Previous is filled in, so I don't have to maintain something like this in Excel, and I can hit rollback if I need to go do a correction. So again, pretty simple to do some things that a lot of contractors struggle with. We still keep that audit trail, brought us right back to app 1 where I can make those revisions and resubmit. So with that being said, different construction billing formats. There's many other options as everything gets entered in for payables, receivables, invoice approval processes, inventory management. Also, we have a mobile application for field management, for time entry, which will be a good segue as I kind of lead things over to Jim. Now, there's a lot I didn't get into for just sake of time. And again, the whole intent is to kind of give people an idea of what we offer, right? Project management, job cost accounting, construction payroll, field app deployment, field management of time card entries, clocking in and out, managing daily logs. There's a lot of other tools here. Now, where this comes together with the two different products, foundation software and payroll for construction, is it's an all-in-one solution. So saying that, I'm going to go ahead and switch screens and presenters here for Jim, and he's going to go ahead and take over and walk us through a little bit about payroll for construction and its benefits. So Jim, thanks, and
Garrett,
off to you.
I didn't have the PowerPoint. Can you throw the PowerPoint up, and then I'll have you toss it to me?
That's absolutely fine. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So if you just throw that PowerPoint up, I'm going to start there, and then I'll just have you when I switch it back to you here. Good afternoon, everybody. Appreciate you attending the webinar. We're going to kind of transition into payroll for construction, and there can sometimes be a little bit confusion here. So I like to just, before I dive in, really just explain we really have two products here. I mean, there's basically, in essence, three ways we interact with our clients. And in one way, Garrett kind of just went over where, they purchase our full ERP accounting system, for job costing, project management. They do their payroll in-house right through, foundation software. And then, we kind of have a hybrid client where they do their payroll in foundation, but they still rely on us to pay the employees and taxes. And then the third way is what I'm going to kind of cover here a little more heavily by, kind of introducing that, hey, payroll for construction can be a standalone service. So whether you own our accounting system or you use a QuickBooks or one of the other ones out there, we can bolt payroll for construction on, where we can upload a file back in to update the general ledger, the job costing, things of that nature. So if you're currently a foundation client sitting in on this, you kind of already, in essence, have payroll for construction. It's just, do you want us to enable a submit payroll button in for said costs, take over paying the employees and taxes? However, again, for non-foundation clients, this will, be able to process your payroll by using parts of foundation software. So we handle payroll in all 50 states. So whether you're a contractor working in one state or working across multiple states, or employees that live in multiple states, that stuff gets tough to manage, because you're experts in the field as opposed to, all these different ever-changing state laws. So we can handle that really well. And what we specialize in here, especially at Payroll for Construction, is union, government, prevailing wage payroll. If you have any piece of that happening, usually you have a messy payroll, and usually the other, providers out there, they just don't, do a great job with that stuff. So it's what makes people hesitant sometimes to outsource, is the fact that they need that reporting done on top of paying employees and taxes. So that's what we specialize in, automating, different rates based on where the employee's working and what they're doing providing those reports down there at the bottom, you know, job costing, certified, EEO, union, minority compliance reporting, and things like that. So if you want to now, Garrett, and then when I pop it back, you can go to the last slide, but if you want to now hand it over, and I'll kind of show them a little bit more with payroll here. So as I come in here, again, you can see it's powered by foundation software. So even our people who don't use our accounting system, you know, everybody in the industry, no matter what products of ours are using, they really just come to know us as foundation, because even our non-software users, when they log in, they're going to see parts of this. So as Garrett said, today's the 10,000-foot overview. You know, these things are great to just see if that any of our products are going to line up for you, but you definitely want to do more of a live one-on-one demo where it's specific to your company's needs. You're able to ask questions and stop us and throw out examples as we move along. So, you know, one of the first things I do in those type of demonstrations is I have to make that connection, and I have to make sure that they know, again, you don't have to own this. Payroll for Construction's online. You can log into it from any computer with internet access. And then this is where you're putting in your jobs, your time, just like Foundation has a mobile app. Payroll for Construction uses parts of that mobile app as well. So time can be imported from other mobile devices if you're using a different app that you're already happy with, or if you want to look at ours, we would cover that. And then this is where all your reports are, and again, integration with QuickBooks. If you were a Foundation client, you wouldn't log in anywhere. You would just be doing everything within your Foundation, and then we'd enable a submit payroll button that sends us a snapshot of the database. So in here, reports like workers' comp, EEO minority compliance reports, certified payroll. This is a big one. We really hang our hat on this because, especially in today's age, there's not just one certified payroll report. I mean, certified payroll has become a pretty generic term. I mean, where are you working? I mean, do you need to upload to the California DIR or EMARS or LCP tracker or, you know, the New York School Authority? So not only being able to produce a paper format specific to an agency, but being able to allow for our clients to just click a button to create one of these files to upload to those agencies. Same with the printed. As I come in here, you'll see how everybody wants something a little bit different. So, you know, we have the ability to customize these reports here, save them, so that you're just bouncing in and playing with date ranges week in and week out. But again, not going to click on all these, but as I go through, you can see we have clients in all 50 states. So, you know, I can pick from a list of these, and we do updates, you know, at least 4 a year. So as new forms come out, as changes are made, we keep up with that stuff. I mean, we take pride that the only type of client we work with here are contractors. So unlike some of these other QuickBooks of the world or your traditional large payroll services that, you know, don't really put a lot of focus, a lot of emphasis on that because, you know, contractors are a small, you know, fraction of their client base. You know, we just deal with this. So we get all this stuff in here, keep it updated. So you have a nice little online platform with Payroll for Construction to get your information in and then submit it to us to pay the employees and taxes. So we can kind of provide the best of both worlds when it comes to handling the paying of employees and taxes, but also making sure things like job costing, union reports, and things of that nature are being captured. And when we talk costing here, whether you're a Foundation user or you're just going to use us for Payroll for Construction, when it comes to your actual labor force and the costing, we're capturing not just the hours and the labor dollars, but the FICA, the FUTA, the SUTA, the workers' comp, the general liability, employer contributions. Hey, you're matching 401k, you're paying a portion of their health insurance. If you're union, of course, union fringes would be a part of that as well. And then we're getting to the true to the penny cost on a per project basis and a per employee basis. Now, of course, if you're just using Payroll for Construction, you're capturing your materials and purchase order subcontracts in a different system, which is why it's important to be able to upload this data back into your system so you can still get that full picture costing. Whereas if you're a Foundation user of ours, of course, you know, you're capturing all that within Foundation itself. Last thing here before I kind of pop back into that PowerPoint and try to keep it around that 25-minute mark and still allow some time for questions is Again, union reporting, capturing hours, totals, gross totals, total each employee put into each benefit or you put into the benefit plan, and then the union, the date range, and then a nice little summary page for said union. So again, people find with construction payroll, it's tough to outsource because sometimes, in a lot of cases, the hardest part is not always the payment to the employees or the taxes. It's this compliance reporting, and whether you're on a system that provides you with that stuff like Foundation, it's tough for our clients to want to outsource payroll to other vendors. It's one of the reasons we created Payroll for Construction, because once you take it outside of a system, you lose all those reportings. And where this works really well for people that aren't on Foundation and are on a QuickBooks and not ready to make the full accounting leap, it works out really well for them also because, they can just still use a detailed system. So Garrett, at this point, if you want to just take back over and throw up that last slide, I'll recap it and then open it for questions. Okay, so again, the multitude of products, the Foundation full software where you can do payroll yourself in-house. You can use just Payroll for Construction as a payroll service provider, or you could use a combination of the two. So there's really a lot of different avenues you can take with us to find the right product for you. Both can be ran online, so you can access that stuff from anywhere. So whether it's your accounting data, your job costing data, or just your payroll data, you're going to be able to access that stuff online. And we support all of our own products. So from the time you would deal with me or Garrett, to the time you would deal with your trainer, you would deal with our support ongoing. You're only ever as good as your support and the team backing you up, because no matter how perfect the software is or how perfect a service is, or even you as the end user, it's just, there is so much data that is being fed to you there in the office, coming from employees, entities, contractors. They just don't feed you accurate information in a timely fashion. So, our system's also built for when there are mistakes, there's quick, easy ways to fix that stuff, as opposed to some of the other softwares and services are 10, 15 step processes to get stuff fixed, which is very frustrating and time consuming. So with that, Garrett, you got some questions over there? I can't see them.
Yeah, sure. It looks like anybody who had initial sound issues, there's only a couple, those are cleared up. You might have touched on this, Jim. They're asking about certified payroll and just the options. How long we update those, how often we push out updates for, which I can answer that on the Foundation side, but it's similar on the Payroll for Construction side.
Yeah, it's the same. We keep all that up to date. I mean, look, just like everything, sometimes the powers to be, the agencies, they just make an update and all of a sudden they send it out. So sometimes we're given a lot of advance notice, like, hey, if they told us today, hey, starting October 1st, here's the new changes. Well, guess what? It might take us a month or so to get that, because with these certified payrolls, it's not just scanning in data. I mean, they're getting millions of lines of code and numbers to fall in the exact right places. So we do a great job of it. The reality is, when they change something, we have about 500, 600, 800 phone calls, depending on what agency, what state, being like, we need this done. So we basically continue to build both Foundation and Payroll for Construction around our clients. We don't pretend to be the construction experts where we know everything that needs to happen. It's just our clients tell us what they need, and when we see it's not 1 out of 1,000, it's 700, 800 out of 1,000 need it, well, we're going to jump and program that stuff. And that goes for all kinds of new features, not just certified payroll.
Thanks. There is one on how the software is deployed, and it is a cloud product. We do, and this covers both Payroll for Construction and Foundation software. We're doing all the backups, all the updates. Everything's done on our end with our data center. We replicate backups to third-party professional data centers for redundancy. So there's a large IT infrastructure in place here for that. But yes, everything is cloud-based. Let's see one. Actually, Jim, this one's for you. They said Jim sounds really passionate. They're wondering if you ever did any motivational speaking on the side.
Oh, no. No, unfortunately not. Just sales stuff for me, guys.
Apparently you knocked it out of the park, Jim. But we'll
All right.
We'll wrap it up at that. Anything left to add on your end? And everybody, again, we're going to do an email blast out for anybody who registered, of course, attended with a shortcut link to watch this and share it with all your family and friends. But Jim, anything that you want to include?
No, if you want to pop up our names and emails, that way if people want to reach out, again, we take a soft sales approach here where, hey, maybe you just want pricing. Maybe you're not ready for the next step conversation. So just be direct with us and what you're looking for. We're not going to, trust me, we stay very busy over here as the construction industry does. So we don't even have time to call you, every single week. So it's like, we'll follow up with you as much as you'd like or once the time's right. But if anybody wants pricing or to schedule a live one-on-one demo, if you're looking to see the full foundation accounting software, you're going to reach out to Garrett there. If you're looking to check out the payroll service, you're just going to reach out to me. So, but other than that, we appreciate everyone's time, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a great day.